All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great men who not rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is Makazar from the Trinidad camp. Just want to do a quick edification for the elect's sake. And I want to do a little lesson of this guy, Henry Berry. All right. So I'll get right into it. It says Henry Berry, I think he was a Virginia senator, I believe. It says Henry Berry Laurie led a resistance in North Carolina during and after the American Civil War. He is sometimes viewed as a Robin Hood type figure and a pioneer in the civil rights in the fight for civil rights. All right. I believe he was a senator in Virginia state. So it says he was like a Robin Hood type figure for the civil rights movement. So when you look up civil rights, it says civil and political rights are a class of rights that protect individuals' freedom from infringement by governments, social organizations, and private individuals. They ensure one's entitlement to participate in the civil and political life of the society and state without discrimination or repression. So it would seem like this guy, Henry Berry, he fought for Jake. But that is not the case. All right? And that is what this whole segment about. All right? So I'm going to get into it. This is Henry Berry of Virginia on extinguishing the capacity to see. All right? So going down to this pass, it says, pass as severe laws as you will to keep these unfortunate creatures in ignorance. So guess what? Jake be thinking that civil rights were to help them, but guess what? The civil rights wasn't for them. Civil rights was basically, for America to gain independence from Europe, and basically for Esau. Not had nothing to do with Jake. All right, because the ones he talking about here is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, pass as severe laws as you will to keep these unfortunate creatures in ignorance. So to keep us in ignorance. It is in vain unless you can extinguish the spark of intellect which God has given them. Let any man who advocates slavery examine the system of laws that we have adopted. From stern necessity, it may be said, towards these creatures, and he may shed a tear upon them. Right? And God, and would to God, so the memory of it might thus be blotted out forever. All right? So he said, so we have as far as possible closed every avenue by which light might enter into their minds. We have also, it says, we have only to go one step further to extinguish the capacity to see the light, and our work would be completed. It says, they would then be reduced to the level of the beasts of the field, and we should be safe. Now, he was a Robin Hood for the pioneer of civil rights. But guess what? He's showing you that he don't give a damn about Jake. Which shows you that civil rights wasn't about Jacob. It was about Esau. All right? It says then we should be safe. So what they're afraid of? They're afraid of us gaining our right minds. Just like with Nat Turner. Esau really and truly afraid of us. That is why hey, guess what? What the Egyptians said? The Egyptians said, come let us oppress them further, lest they rise up against us. And this is the reason why Esau doing this right now. We see these police, guess what? That is by order and design of the elite. All right? To oppress us more. Because Esau really and truly are afraid of the tribes of Jacob. All right. It says, and I am not certain that he would not do it. It says, if we could find out the necessary process that and that under the plea of necessity. It says, but sir, it is this is possible, and can man be in the midst of freedom and not know that what freedom is? Can he feel the power to assert his liberty, and he will not do it? Yes, sir, with the certainty of the current time, will he do it whenever he has the power? Sir, to prove that the time will come, I need offer no longer argument than that of arithmetic, the conclusions from which are clear demonstrations of the subject. All right. So basically, they was afraid of Jacob, rising up, as the scripture said, who will rise him up? That what they was afraid of. So the way basically we said, so we have as far as possible closed every avenue by which light might enter into their minds. And what is the light? The light is our true identity. All right. So they try to seal the book from us. They try to hide our identity from us. That is why the scripture said, when the wicked rule, a man is hidden. So they tried to hide our identity. They took our identity from us, and they called us Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, African Americans, Trinidadians, Venezuelans. They call us all sorts of names except Hebrew Israelites, because they don't want us to know who we are. All right? So get straight into the scriptures. This is Psalms 83 verse 1. It says, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, just like with Henry Berry, and they still do it unto this day. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And who are the hidden ones? The hidden ones are us. All right? And they're taking crafty counsel against us, which I just showed you proof from Henry Berry's own mouth. That guess what? They're taking crafty counsel for us to be hid. All right? Just like they infiltrating certain groups and paying them off to distort the truth, to taint the doctrine. All right? Because why? They're afraid of Jacob raising up, because the scripture shows that, guess what? When the Lord come, Esau done. Now, Esau, guess what? It don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. You could kill us. You could pay some of us off to stop preaching the word. All right? You could do whatever you want. You're not going to stop this truth from coming out, and you're not going to stop your destruction. All right? You're not going to stop your destruction. That was prophesied by the mouth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And whatever the Lord said, he said, hey, it's gonna come to pass. So the crafty counsel that Esau took against us to hide the truth from us, it's coming out. Because you can't hide this truth. All right? You can't hide this truth. This is 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 9. It says, and the salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, and then wit shall hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself in his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall righteousness and inconstancy be multiplied upon the earth. And guess what? Leading up to now, we're still in that time. We're still in that time when wit shall withdraw itself, and unrighteousness and incontinency, it will be multiplied upon the earth. It also said that knowledge shall be sought of many and not be found, but it only gonna be found of the elect. So we're still in the time of darkness, but darkness only upon 2/3 of Israel. The light upon the 1/3 and the elect. All right. Because if darkness was still upon the whole earth, then guess what? We wouldn't be rising up through the Spirit of the Most High and calling ourselves Israel, surnaming ourselves Jacob, Israel. All right? The Most High had given us back our knowledge of who we are. All right? So they said if they were successful, and guess what? Esau, you were almost successful. Guess what? You were successful to close all avenues. But guess what? You forgot that the Most High gave a command that he will never cast off Jacob. So you changed all the history books. You made sure that you planted false images in our heads, showing that the people of the Bible white and not really dark skin. All right? So you were successful in closing all avenues. But guess what? The scripture said, what Paul said in 2 Timothy, it says, I am in bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound. You can't bound the words of the Most High. All right? And that is why this name of this lesson will be a book within a book. Because guess what? They even took out chapters of the Bible. They took out whole books. And they also changed the meaning of words. But guess what? Here we are, the men of great millstone, going into this word, rightly dividing the word of truth, and teaching the complete doctrine, teaching that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Hebrew Israelites. So as much as Esau tried to tamper with the book and tamper and do all things to hide the truth from us, guess what? The truth is still there. The truth is still there. The scripture said the word was written line upon line, precept upon precept. Guess what? That is a book within a book. All right, there is a book within a book. Let me see. All right. I'll read the next precept before I want to bring out something. This is Psalms 92, verse 5. It says, O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. So guess what? The Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, his thoughts are very deep. And the fool don't understand this. That is why the Lord could hide the truth within the book that right in front of them. The truth right in front of you, and guess what? You still can't figure it out. But it takes men, unlearned men, as the scripture said in Acts 4:13. These are unlearned men. And they marvel at Paul and at Peter and the other disciples, how they understood these things. And you marveling how we understanding these things, because guess what? It is of the spirit and not of the flesh. The Lord Yahweh shall reveal it unto our spirits, that we are the sons of the Most High. All right? You could tamper with the Bible as much as you want, but guess what? The Most High has the truth written right in it. And only as the scripture said, the wise man's eyes and his head, only the elect could find it out. All right? And that is just to show how deep the Most High thoughts are. Only for a bookmark. Let's see if I could find it. All right. So here it is. It says a frame story, because the term is frame story. It says a frame story is a literary technique. Sometimes this serves as a companion piece to a story within a story. All right, and the Bible is books within a book. All right, and it's so in depth that, as the scripture said in Isaiah 28:13. The word was written line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. So even in a chapter, you have a book within a book. Because to understand one part of the scriptures, just like as simple as Matthew chapter 1, when it says, the generation of Yahushai, the son of Abraham, the son of David. Now to understand that, you have to go in other books, but through the Spirit of the Most High. It is a book within a book. A verse is like a book within a book. One verse could give you a whole lesson. And to understand one verse, you would have to go to multiple verses in different chapters, in different books of the Bible to understand it. And that is how the Most High hid it. That is how the Most High hid the truth. The Most High hid the truth right in Esau's face. That although Esau took out parts of it, the truth was still there. It says, where an introductory or main narrative is presented, at least in part, for the purpose of setting the stage either for more emphasized or second narrative, or for a set of shorter stories. Right? So what the Most High did, the Most High, all this was by design. All right? All this was by design. The Most High not writing the Bible as like a story form, but writing it is like something to be decoded. And to the unlearned, it would be like a story. But the men that in the know, the elect, would know that, guess what? It's written here a little, there a little, in the sense of to understand one part, you have to go somewhere else to understand it. Whereas the Most High could have just simplified it and made it easy for all to understand. But the Lord didn't set it up so. The Lord said, the scripture said, for our sakes, it was written this way. For our sakes. All right? So that even that Esau would take out, because the scripture said, want him that take out. Even though that Esau take out or took out, still taking out, still changing, the truth is still there. That's why people say the Bible plagiarized or it tampered with. As much as you tamper with the Bible, guess what? These are the words of the Most High. All right? These are the words of the Most High. Psalms 92:5. Oh Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. To hide a book within a book, and our enemies will read this book and tamper with this book, try to hide the truth from us, and still we find our truth, our identity within that tampered book. Great is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and worthy to be praised. A book within a book. There's the Bible, and our truth was in that book. And though beginning with Henry Berry and all the others, all right, from Psalms 83, all the other nations that took crafty counsel to hide the truth from us, guess what? It was a trivial effort. It was a trivial effort because guess what? The Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is always for Israel. So as much as they try to hide the truth will still come out. All right? The truth will still come out. I want to look up the word wit, because I read in 2nd Ezra, it said that wit will hide itself. It says mental capacity, Old English wit or wit, more commonly gewit, understanding, intellect, sense, knowledge, consciousness, conscience. So guess what? They try to take away our mental capacity. As the scriptures at one point it went. All right? But now it's returning unto the elect. We seen 2/3 still don't have that mental capacity. We seen 2/3 still calling themselves Kemet, calling themselves Cushite, calling themselves Egyptians, calling themselves Christians, calling themselves Muslims. We still seeing they lost that consciousness. We still seeing that they lost that understanding and that intellect. But upon the elect, the light is risen. The Most High revealed the knowledge unto the elect. All right, which we are part of the hopeful elect, the men of great millstone. The scripture said, the elect shall find it, and the rest were blinded. All right. Says 1 John chapter 2 verse 8. It says, again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shineth. So the darkness is past, but the true light now shine. The true light is the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The scripture said there shall be no more darkness in the kingdom. All right? But right now, his glory is being bestowed upon the elect. All right? The knowledge, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that is in the Bible, only the elect could find it out. 2/3 of Israel reading this Bible all day long and still calling themselves Christians, still believing in Jesus, all right, still celebrating Christmas, still believe that all people could be saved. And when it's clearly written in the Bible, it is not so. But what the scripture said, it says, blessed are your eyes, for ye see. 2/3 of Israel is still in darkness, but the true light, it shine upon the elect. A book within a book. It was hidden by design, and the design to unlock it, guess what? Beginning with Yahweh Shai that was worthy to open the book and to unseal the book, it was given unto the elect. To understand what is written within. Alright? To understand the code. To decipher it. To know that to understand one part, you'd have to go somewhere else to understand. To understand the mystery of the Gentiles, you'd have to go through the history of Israel to know the mystery of the Gentiles. But it not revealed unto all people. And guess what? Because the Most High hid this truth from Israel, Esau was successful in hiding the truth from 2/3, but not all the elect. All right, not all the elect. All right. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1. It says, "Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee." All right, the glory of Yahweh is risen upon us. "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth," which it did. All right, the time of moral stupidity did cover the earth. The darkness that Esau played over the earth, where the ancient names were taken away, where our heritage was taken away, where we forgot who we were. All right, it covered the whole earth, and gross darkness the people. All right, but Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, and his glory being seen upon us right now. That is why we be able to call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. And Esau baffled right now as to how we found out this truth. But guess what? It was always there. It was always there. But the Most High gave us the eyes to see what was written. But not all people have the eyes to see. And although Esau have all the books, and he tainted the books, he took out, he put in, he added in, guess what? The truth is always there. And only the men with the eyes could see the truth. As Apostle Aramlab says, being able to pick the meat out of the bone. Because they put bone in. Alright? Guess what? To tell a lie, you have to have truth. You can't just tell a straight lie. You have to put truth in it. And only the men of the elect, the men of the Most High, able to pick the truth out of the lies. But by help of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright? By help of the Most High. Alright? This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 10. This is Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8. It says, "Also I heard a voice from Yahweh saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go up for us? And then said I, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear indeed, but understand not, and see indeed, but perceive not." And just like now, we going out there and we preaching, and the people, they hearing, but they're not understanding. They're seeing, but they're not understanding exactly what's going on. All right? It says, "Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, shut up their eyes." So the Lord say, hey, don't make them understand this word. Don't make them understand this word. And 2/3 not understanding this word. 2/3 not understanding that we are in the time of the end. They're not understanding that all it right in their face, all it happening right around them, that the mark of the beast is the eye for the chip. They're not understanding that the Lord's only and chosen people is Israel. They're not understanding that World War III on the bricks. All right? All this was written within the book. But the Lord said, make the heart of this people heavy, make them stupid, that they can't understand. And the one that the Most High helped pioneer this was Esau, the so-called white man. The Lord used Esau to help pioneer this type of moral stupidity. All right? And that is why Jake lost right now. But the glory of the Lord is risen upon the elect. And the way the Most High hid the truth is by hiding it by design of a book within a book. All right? To the unlearned, they will just read the first layer of the book. But the elect could dive into the different layers of the book, the different levels, to understand what the whole book is saying. All right? It says lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate, and Yahweh remove man far away, and there be a great forsaken in the midst of the land. It says, yet in it shall be a tent, and it shall return. So the tent that return is the elect. The tent that gonna return is the elect, and shall be eaten as a teal tree, and as an oak whose substance is in them when they cast their leaves. So the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. So the holy seed is the ones that returning right now. The elect, 144,000 men who the Lord reserved. All right, whom the Lord reserved. This is the tent that returning. This is the tent that regaining their consciousness, that rising upon their feet, pursuant to Ezekiel 37. Isaiah 4:2, it says, in that day shall a branch of Yahweh be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel, the elect. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. So the elect gonna be called holy because they understood the word, all right, and they did the things that contained in it. But 2/3 of Israel not gonna understand. Even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem that gonna escape the destruction to come. It says, when Yahweh shall have washed away the filth of the daughter of Zion, and shall purge the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. All right? So the nuke's gonna cleanse the land. All right? But only the elect understand that the times that we in right now, that is high time to awake out of sleep. But 2/3 still sleeping right now. And as the scripture said in Daniel, I will go to that real quick. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. All right? So the elect gonna awake to light, and the 2/3 gonna awake to everlasting shame and contempt. But in the kingdom, they're gonna come back as the children of the elect. All right? 2/3 gonna be destroyed. Because why? Because the word hid from them. Because, as they said, crucify him and let his blood be upon us and our children. 2/3 were made to be destroyed. The elect was made to be saved. All right. So the ones that Esau was successful to keep the word hid from was who was 2/3. And whereas they're still trying to shut the words up. They're still trying to shut the word from us right now. But guess what? They can't. They could put us to death, as I said before. All right. They could lock us up. But guess what? The Most High will just raise up new prophets. This word is inevitable. This is Luke 19, verse 38. I'm going straight to the point, saying, blessed be the King that cometh in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. So stones will immediately cry out if we were somehow silenced. All right? So this word can't be stopped. All right? It can't be hid anymore. As the scripture said, no man light a candle and put it under the bed, but put it upon the table that all men could see. So this word is light, and the light shineth in the world on all the elect being woken up. So Esau, guess what? You're not on top again. Because from the time Jacob regaining his knowledge means it's the end of your kingdom. That is why we out here prophesying that, you Edomites, you so-called whites, you are Edomites. America is Babylon, which is to be destroyed. And the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Jews, Hebrew Israelites, are the Bible. The name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right? To hell with Jesus, to hell with Allah, to hell with Jehovah, to hell with all these other false gods. All right? The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he reigns supreme. And this is our time. All right? This is our time. So, Henry Berry legislation, it ain't working anymore. All right? You can't hide the light from us. Because the light now, it done gone through the whole earth. All right? So with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy not rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is Makazar saying Shalom.